Beginning new hours. I am beginning my 3 a.m. to 11 shift here on the side of the highway. This is reported at first as a pedestrian struck, then changed to a shooting call. There's a white Jeep down there that is stopped, and they had the ambulance come. So I don't know what this is, but I'm getting video just in case. And I guess it's happening at a good time. It's sort of during the witching hour, but I'm on the side of the highway and making quick work of this. However, I'm not really on the side of the highway. I'm at the end of a ramp that doesn't appear to be busy, which is over here by St. Pius. They got the road, what do you call it, roadside assistance out helping direct traffic. But yeah, fun. Now we're on Shawnee Mission Parkway in Merriam, Kansas. Honestly, don't know what this is, but can speculate that they're out looking for somebody and they have something of a perimeter out. I don't know which agency this is, but they have one of the police agencies has a Tesla, and that's their drone car. And you can see Merriam and Olathe are here. Lots of police. And they had the streets blocked off all around this too. But now it looks like we're leaving, so I think this is over, whatever it is. And I'm here in Grandview, or live shots here, talking about downtown redevelopment. And interesting, scary incident happened when I went to the Quick Trip over here, Blue Ridge and Holmes Road. I believe that car that was involved in that shooting or whatever on I-29, I-35 was down there sitting at the gas pump, and it had the same damage on the front passenger side door. And as I was pulling in, this guy comes out of Quick Trip, and I know he was involved with that car, and he come right at my car, and I started pulling out. I didn't want to find out what he wanted, and he started yelling and shouting as I left. So I dialed 911 and told them that they seemed to need help, but they also seemed to be up to no good, and they were involved in the shooting, and the dispatcher knew exactly what I was talking about. So I don't know. So yeah, you got to keep your eyes open, your ears open, and protect yourself. Don't stick around to find out what people want. If it seems fishy, just drive away and call 911, let them deal with it, because they probably know more about it than you do. And I'm not supposing anything. They may have genuinely needed help, but in that case, what can I do, really? Dial 911 is the best thing, because if they need help, then the people that will help them are probably that phone call away. But if they really need help, then they should be calling for themselves. But you can't assume anything. Just protect yourself. Don't get caught out alone dealing with a situation that could escalate into something crazy or deadly. Wow, look at the sunrise coming over downtown Grandview. I used to live in this town, and pretty much would walk every day downtown. Kind of has a small town, at least downtown view. I don't know its days of really being a small town are long gone. I love that view right there. That's the old I can't remember the name of the railroad, but it's part of the Kansas City Southern, I guess, Canadian Pacific now as a branch, more like a siding, but it was a main line at one time. I've decided to do a little penny tour of Grandview, Missouri, with this beautiful sunrise coming up here. And I used to live just over that way, and I'd walk this every day. This was about year 2000, and unfortunately at the time I was very depressed, and I had this girlfriend and we had broken up, and of course, you know, a sad story. And so to kind of get myself over it, every day I would walk with my dog and I would go down Main Street. Actually, it wasn't my dog, it was my mom's dog, Abby. And the funny thing was, the dog was overweight and so was I, and every day we walked, and we both ended up losing weight because of that. This railroad track that I was talking about earlier, I couldn't think of the name, is the St. Louis San Francisco Railway, and they no longer exist. They were bought up by the Southern Pacific, who was eventually bought up by Union Pacific. Let me let this idiot go. Annoying. I used to come here every day, or every time, this model railroad, and they're still here. I'm happy to see that. And yeah, it's got kind of a nice downtown area. They're also known now for the home headquarters of IHOP, not the International House of Pancakes, but the International House of Prayer. And they've kind of bought up a lot of property around here. But yeah, so you know, year 2000, I used to come this way all the time, and I remember, you know, we moved here, 1986, and of course I was going to college, went through the Air Force, all that stuff, and you know, I'd come back here where my parents lived, stay with my parents, and there used to be a restaurant I would come to over here, a little mom and pop diner. It was right there. Now there's the new building there, I believe. TJ's was the name of it. And also, and I'm going to use this as a turnaround, I think, the Waffle House was right here, and they are no longer here. They're being remodeled into something else, or they were remodeled into something else. Maybe they're turning into a gas station. I don't know what that is. Looks like it might be being turned into a gas station. That's odd. Usually it goes the other way around. But used to come to the Waffle House all the time, and they have since moved out and shut the location down. And the old school post office there. There are some people in a hurry, I tell you. And you best not be in their way, because they don't want to stop for anything. Yeah, that's where TJ's was. I think I'm getting that right. And they took the depot. The old depot is behind City Hall here. I'm not going to drive over there. And they've added this archway. Welcome to Grandview. So yeah, it does have this really nice small town feel. A very, very blue collar town. And its other thing was there used to be an Air Force base on the southern part of the town, Richards Gebaur Air Force Base, and then they decided it was a redundant place, so they shut it down about when we moved here. It was still open when we moved here in 77, but by 79, 80, they had shut it down. They were talking about shutting it down then. And you know, those of us that were in the stationed at Whiteman Air Force Base, which is out in Knob Noster, Missouri, where we had wished that we could be stationed at Richards Gebaur, be close to the city and everything, instead of way out in the middle of nowhere in Knob Noster. But I think part of what kills a base that's close into town is being close into town. Encroachment was what I had heard that was one of its main problems, why the Air Force decided it didn't want it anymore. So it became a reserve base, and eventually they've shut down the runway, and now it's a big, I guess, intermodal station for railroads. Something to do with cars. I think it's where they load and unload new cars. And they use the old runway for that, the tarmac. And the Marine Corps is still there, Reserve Marine Corps Station. And other than that, I better get to concentrating on my driving, because, you know, if I'm driving 5 miles over the speed limit, I'm driving too slow. People are just letting me know that they're in a hurry to get somewhere. As Gallagher used to say, the answer to the problem of being late is to leave 15 minutes earlier. Anyway, woohoo! And of course, not too far from Grandview is Martin City here. And I always like to take the opportunity to cruise through Martin City and do my penny tour here too. Although I've done it more times than anywhere else, I think. Seems like every week almost. But I mean, I just love the look at the skies, and it's just very pretty this morning. And I love this kind of downtown feel, the railroad tracks, just the ambiance of the area is very special. And I don't know the history of this, but for whatever reason, there's a lot of very well-known restaurants here. Or in fact, they've sort of spread from here into town, but they started here in Martin City. I don't know if it was one family that started it all or what. It's just interesting, because it's like way out on the fringes of the city. It's the southern part of Kansas City, extreme southern part. When you leave here and head south, you end up in Belton, and then Raymore and Peculiar, and then eventually Harrisonville. And of course, here's where we always turn a Warnell to head back to the station. And I'm going to make my long-awaited quick trip run, because my earlier quick trip run was interrupted by that interesting situation. So anyways, woohoo! Well, let me tell you, it's getting warm. Well, it's warm when you're working. It says it's 78 degrees. Let's see. It says 75 degrees there.
I should adjust this down. I'm making great TV. Oops, and I should adjust this too. Excellent TV, very professional. I should cut all of that out. Fix it in post. Well, I just got done shooting with my reporter, and it's exhilarating. I enjoy it. It's like, how would you say it? It's like being creative while doing aerobics. And I enjoy that. I'm a very lucky guy. And, you know, I need the aerobics. But I have water here. I should get gas before I head back to the station. Elevator rescue. That's my pulse point talking to me. I should get gas before I go back to the station. And you know what? Should I mix it up here? I mean, it's daytime. All the gas stations are open. I don't have to just do Quick Trip because, you know, they're the only ones that are really open overnight. And up until recently, they've all had bathrooms. But now they're closing them down because, you know, uncivilized people. Yeah, let's mix it up. Let's see if we can get ahead of this other Toyota and go over here to Casey's. But I'm not going to get the pizza. I can't do the pizza. But it is tempting. Lunch pizza. Here we are. Casey's. Let's hope their pumps are all open and working. You never know. Never know. Let's get in the shade because, you know, I've been doing aerobics, so I'm feeling the temperature even though it's not that warm. Alrighty then, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Going to try and get Saya's physical done.
For my volleyball.
We waited a little too long, I think, to get this physical done, and I'm kind of waiting on the doctor to sign off on it, and they say the doctor will probably take 3 days to do that, so that's bad news. But that's what we get for waiting too long, I guess. I'm trying to get used to my new schedule. I shouldn't go to sleep until later, so coffee. Tea, actually. It's called A Peaceful Moment. Very peaceful. We are back here because we've been asked to get chicken livers for the dog before Saya's practice. No, they did not have chicken livers at that place, so. And we made it here with barely any time to spare. And as we were driving here, we got a call that the form was done, and it was kind of frustrating because we drove right past the hospital as they were calling, and you know, we were on the other side of the hospital long before so we had to turn around and go get it, and that's why we were almost late here. But at least we got it done, and Saya's in there right now with her volleyball tryout, so woohoo!
Looks like Caitlin just got home too.
Getting home finally after napping in the car while somebody practiced volleyball.
Practice, tried out
volleyball.
Thank you.
It's been a long week today.